who can take it to the next level. But you've already value created on that, infancy stage. Then you can start creating another one where you can have that game going all over again, because that's where you're good at. So in my case, I don't exactly exit businesses. So I create, leadership positions for professional managers so that I let them handle it. Because, Marvin, I hop from place to place. I'm always part of something new. But when it comes to like really maintaining it and nurturing it, that's another person's talent. That's not my talent. I'm always like trying to be teaching on the
growth phase.
Yeah, exactly. So again, might not match my age, but I'm still like that.
Lastly, what do you see? What's your vision for Filipino entrepreneurs 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Because I really think we need more. We need more. Everyone wants to be a high-priced employee, or they want to go abroad. But I think that's what we need to see for the nation to really grow. We need more entrepreneurs.
I believe that it's a golden age of value creation for the Philippines. If you're gonna be
Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor, and I love YouTube because it allows me to share my thoughts, my ideas when it comes to stock trading and investing, because I really believe the stock market is one of the greatest ways for Filipinos to let their money grow. That if you put your money in time deposits, guess what? It really won't go down, but it really also won't go up, and you'll just be beaten by inflation. And the goal of videos like this is to educate you so that you can win and you can trade the markets with confidence. Before we proceed to the next video, would super appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and comment, so you get to be part of this video and you get to see more videos to come in the future. And smash that bell, guys, so that you get updated every time contents like this will come out. So that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So here's an interesting question. You have 1 million right now, you have 2 million. How do you take it to the next level? What do you do? Or you're self-employed, you're doing most of your hustle by yourself, you're earning a lot from it, but how do you scale it? How do you make it something that will not just last for today, but how do you make it very, very sustainable?
Okay, I guess when people are into a good thing, sometimes they put their heart into it, they put their minds into it, and they do relatively well. And then they hit a certain ceiling. That's when things go down, that's when things probably taper off and then plateau. So I think it can be a product market issue, it can be your issue, it can be your motivation. So what I've done in the past is to look at ways and means on how to spread that kind of interest, right? So I got myself into investing on top of the work that I do. So I'm an entrepreneur while I'm an employee. Now, people will say, oh, that's wrong. If you're an employee, you're dishonest. You have to focus on your job. Hey, remember this, guys. And I'm going to be very, very particular with this. If you're paid, your main job is to create value. And if you're creating more value than what's required, you're a good employee. Now, if you have time in your weekends, in your evenings, to dabble into markets, to start another business that you can have with your wife, your partner, some friends, why not? You now expand your earning capacity. Earning capacity is the best way to create wealth. Many people look at, sorry to say this, many people focus on the budgeting side. I do that. I'm not saying I'm not going to do budgeting, but I'll tell you, it's more fun increasing the revenue, right?
Totally agree with that. Yeah.
So you get to increase the revenue by getting yourself into many things. Like if you can earn commissions on a certain side business, if you can start a business with a friend, as I've said, a partner. So you now have entrepreneurship, you now have your job, you now have investments in markets. And when you do this, you somehow have all guns firing. It's almost like you're a car. There are 8 to 10 cylinders. Sometimes there are 4 to 6 cylinders. Sometimes cars don't fire on all cylinders, and that's the reason why the car is not going to move fast. But when you hear the Ferraris and the Maseratis of the world, all those cylinders fire up very early, very fast. That's why they zoom. That's also what's happening to wealth creation. If you have more ways of increasing revenue, if you have more ways of growing your money, then, your pathway to wealth will be faster. I'll tell you, the common millionaire has 7. This is a fact. 7 streams of income. Okay. How many streams of income do you have? Do you have 7 now? Because that's the way to create 1 million and make it 10 million.
When you say 7, you mean 7 businesses or 7 different asset classes?
7 different asset classes or businesses, as long as you get income from 7 different kinds of endeavors. Separate endeavors, so it can be a fixed income base, it can be a business, it can be a stock portfolio. As long as you get all of those 7 contributing to your kitty on a monthly basis, even if you have work, that salary, that's again another revenue creation model. So you put all of these, and on a monthly basis, you get inflows from all of them. It's easy to make your 10 million. That will be a way to go. Like Marvin here has too many sources. So it can be 14, not 7, 14.
My mentality kasi when I started out was to open as much so I can try it. Kasi investing is a skill. The more you do it, you find out where you're already good at. And then you find out also, I'm not as good as this, but I'll still position, but I'll put a smaller portion of what I have there as well. But going back to what you said in business, though, your business is doing well. Should you double down on that, or when would you know it's time already to venture off and invest in other things that are not in your, I guess, core business, core specialty?
I've always believed of not putting everything in one basket. You know, putting all of your eggs in your business. I guess that's a temptation for many people because their businesses will be earning a lot of money. They put everything there because the yields are really good, the earnings are good. Wrong. You know, you're putting yourself into what I call concentration risk. So even as you can scale that business, I would take some money and put it in markets, put it in other businesses, putting it in other companies that can also earn for me. Because what's important is that you're not, you know, in a precarious position that one revenue source gets killed and you get killed. See, it's very important that you have different flows of income. So much so that you're not dependent on one. Because I also believe that each source of income can be matched with a particular goal. Like, I'll tell you, you cannot retire on your company money. I always tell people that. Don't you know that you have to separate part of that money for yourself? Because in the future, once you give that business, the reins of that business to another person, like your children, they will start running it. It's not your money anymore. It's going to be company money. So you have to know how much money you can set aside, because when that happens, your retirement will now be based on the money that you've set aside. Again, goals-based investing. It's not that your business is earning wealth, it's making sure that you have money for a particular purpose. And that's the way to do it.
Now that you're, I think, relatively longer in the markets, what do you like more in terms of your passive income? Do you like earning more from dividends, bond interest, or property, I guess rentals or passive income that cash flow you can get from real estate?
Okay, maybe people won't agree with the age that I have, but I still consider myself young. So
that's why I said medyo advanced lang.
but still, you know, I tell a lot of people 70% of my position is still growing. 70% is still growing. Why? Because I'm not yet retiring, right? If I'm about to retire, that's the time I'm going to make the big shift, because I don't want the money to be affected by the ups and downs of markets. But today, I can stay the course. And if I can stay the course, the ups and downs of markets won't matter.
Okay. Wow.
Because I still have a horizon, right? So I still be growth focused. So why am I now putting money in bonds, in fixed income and all that? That's just for safety purposes, because markets like this, down. And I need something, maybe to invest in another business. I need to put money in another opportunity. I'm not going to sell my stock position. I'm going to get from my fixed income because that is safe. And now I can put that, you know, I can now put that in another business.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. You have to have a portfolio where you know you can touch money at certain right times.
So you're okay with being heavy in money markets as of this point in time, than just leaving it cash per se in your savings
yes,
account?
I will do that. I will still earn percentage points. I'm not gonna make it sleep. In fact, if you are big enough, you can even have sweep agreements with banks, which means zero balance. You know, I'm always on a fixed income proposition all the time.
Now, for people who are in business and then they're investing, and then it comes to a certain point also that it becomes challenging, it becomes hard at their current point. When do they know that they should give up what they're doing to shift to something different? They're profitable, but parang they're seeing that this is not for me. What should they do?
It's very important that you always check not just your business but yourself. Your passion about it, how you'd want to follow through. Because there are times when a business is ripe for some new hands. See, sometimes we're different in terms of behavior when it gets to leading businesses. Sometimes people are good at creating, but people are not gonna be good at what we call maintaining. So people who are good at creating, people are good at building. They have to build. You know, the real value is when the business is at its infancy stage. But sometimes people get bored when it's on the growth stage. So maybe you get professional managers, or even, you know, sorry to say this, but even sell it to someone who can take it to the next level. But you've already value created on that, you know, infancy stage. Then you can start creating another one where you can have that game going all over again, because that's where you're good at. So in my case, I don't exactly exit businesses. So I create, you know, leadership positions for professional managers so that I let them handle it. Because, you know, Marvin, I hop from place to place. I'm always part of something new. But when it comes to like really maintaining it and nurturing it, that's another person's talent. That's not my talent. I'm always like trying to be itching on the
growth phase.
Yeah, exactly. So again, might not match my age, but I'm still like that.
Lastly, what do you see? What's your vision for Filipino entrepreneurs 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Because I really think we need more. We need more. Everyone wants to be a high-priced employee, or they want to go abroad. But I think that's what we need to see for the nation to really grow. We need more entrepreneurs.
I believe that, you know, it's a golden age of value creation for the Philippines. If you're gonna be an employee, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'd want you to think about ways and means to become an entrepreneur while even being an employee. I don't want you to leave employment just to try something out. No, you can do both. You know, you can manage your risks. But again, you'll have to work on weekends. You'll have to work on your evenings. So what? I mean, you know, lower the amount of time you look at all of these time wasters that are in your life. You never earn money. You know, I get to ask people, what do you do at your free time?
Netflix.
Yeah, that's very true. See, I tell people, what do you do on your free time? Do you spend money or do you earn money? Think about it. Do you spend money or do you earn money? So the people who earn money on their spare time will be the wealthy people of the future. So think about how you spend that extra time. When you can take that extra time and build something, create a business, that might be your ticket to something big later on. But if you don't start now, if you don't start small, then you're never going to be able to lift yourself up from the current phase you're in. And it takes such a long time to grow when you're an employee, right? Yeah. You have to have, again, more cylinders firing. Firing on more cylinders is always...
And your income stays the same no matter how much effort you put. You can get bonuses, but it's not...
It will match inflation.
Okay. And it's not, I quit my job 8 years already, but it's one of the best decisions I've ever made because it allows your effort to be proportional to, I guess, what you could possibly earn. And then when you start piling that into investments, that's when it becomes relatively, I guess, bigger and better as well.
Yeah, so, but again, many of our countrymen, Marvin, might not have the courage that you have, right? So I'm telling people, yes, if you feel you have something really good, you can do what Marvin has done, meaning leave the job, get on to something that you'd want to do. That's good. But if you don't have that courage, if you have that fear, why don't you start germinating that while you're working? I'm not saying, you know, leave it up till another day. No, do it now. Start small. Build it up. Maybe get the help of friends, get the help of partners, and sometimes even children, right? And build it up. Now, once you get to a place where, okay, now we can make a bigger bet on it, then resign, you know, give your resignation papers and concentrate and put all your effort into that new business.
And that's where it's actually better because it's better to do it while you're working. Because if you make a mistake, at least cash flow is still there.
Exactly.
All right.
But for as long as, you know, the clear thing here is that, one, you give what you can to that job. You know, you're getting a salary, it's fair that you give value or more than what you're being paid. But second, disclose. You know, if your company knows what you're doing, there's nothing to hide, right? You're very transparent. You're even gonna be emancipated because you've asked permission. Now, I'll tell you this: bosses are gonna allow you to do it. Maybe it's a common misconception that when we tell people, you know, I'm gonna get into business, they're not gonna allow you. No, they will allow you. The bosses who are there, who are doing well, are not selfish. They want more people to be successful. They want people to accomplish more. Besides, as Marvin said, our country needs it. And you have to take part and do it now.
And what I got though, this is from Carlo Ople. He said that if you're an employee, 8 to 5, work on your job. 5 to 1, work on your dreams. You hustle and you do it and be faithful wherever you are. So that's it. I hope you guys got inspired by this